Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech. Today we're going to talk about the AirPods Pro and my almost 2 months of experience using them. I've got a lot to cover in this video, everything from talking about the noise canceling, the audio quality, the convenience factor of the AirPods Pro, to the issues that I've been having with my AirPods Pro. And if you follow me online, you may have seen me complain a couple of times about it. I'm going to talk about it and how I've addressed the issue, I guess, as best I can in this video. So make sure to stick around to the end. Give the video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel here if you like it. So prior to this video, I have made a few other videos talking about the AirPods Pro. I did compare them to the AirPods 2, and I've also compared them to the Powerbeats Pro as well. I also made a video on an issue that I was having with my AirPods Pro with the audio levels being kind of weird, and so I talked about that. So I'm going to link to all these videos so you can check them out after you're done watching this one. So let's start by talking about the things that I just really do love about the AirPods Pro. I was waiting to put this video out because I wanted to have utilized the AirPods Pro in a lot of different situations. I've been wearing them a ton at the gym. Over the last couple of months, I've really been hitting the gym hard. I've lost a bunch of weight. I've also had a challenge over the last almost 30 days now to put 20,000 steps on my fitness tracker. And of course, that's about 10 miles. And so almost every day I've done 10 miles, which some days takes me a lot of time. Other days, maybe a little less time, but still a lot. And the AirPods Pro typically spend all of that time in my ear. I'm listening to music, audiobooks, podcasts, and all that good stuff. And so a lot of different situations there for different listening types. And then also I recently flew to Florida from California and went to a wedding, a friend's wedding. My wife went with me, and my AirPods Pro were in my ear a lot of the time as well, as I was either listening to podcasts on the plane, or my wife and I were utilizing the ability to connect two different pairs of AirPods to my iPad so that we can watch shows together, which was kind of cool as well. And so lots of different experiences that I've had with my AirPods Pro, and they've just really been great for the most part. Of course, the issue that I've had, I'll talk about as we get a little bit further into the video. So let's start by talking about noise cancellation and that quality there. Obviously, a lot of people have talked about the sound quality and they're amazed by it. And I think it is easy to be amazed by the audio quality, because if you're coming from AirPods 2, the AirPods Pro audio quality is going to sound amazing. So the audio quality is good. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But the noise cancellation is something that I was really hoping would deliver over and above on these little earbuds, because I have noise canceling headphones. I have the Sony over-the-ear headphones, which I absolutely love, and I usually fly with those, and if I'm working in a coffee shop, I wear them. And then I've also had the earbuds from Sony and also the earbuds from Bose that have noise canceling, and those are great too. They're just not as convenient as AirPods, and so I'd always end up going back to AirPods because the Bose and the Sony had a large case. They weren't easy to get in and out of your ear and back into the case, and so they just weren't super convenient. So I always ended up going back to my AirPods. Now with the AirPods Pro, the noise canceling is really good, and I've noticed that substantially when I'm at the gym and there's a lot of chatter going on around me. You know, I've spent a lot of time on the treadmills lately, and a lot of people are talking. I want to cancel out all that noise because I'm trying to listen to an audiobook. Maybe if I'm drowning it out with music, that's fine. I can't hear anything that's going on anyways. But in those instances where I'm trying to listen to a podcast or an audiobook, the noise cancellation really comes in handy, and I love being able to isolate myself from all of that noise. Now on the airplane, I was also pleasantly surprised and impressed by the AirPods Pro. They did a good job of canceling out noise. On an airplane, you've got a lot of noise, not only people around you talking and stuff like that, but just the drone sound that goes on and on and on in an airplane that starts when you take off and doesn't stop until you land. And that noise I like to cancel out, just so that I can have some level of sanity when I'm flying clear across the country. Typically when I fly, I'm by myself, and so I'll have my Sony over the ears. They're a little more comfortable to have on for a longer period of time. And obviously the noise cancellation of an over-the-ear headphone and the audio quality is going to be better with a bigger device like that than with the AirPods Pro. But being that I was traveling with my wife and we were talking, and then we'd watch a show or something, and then maybe I'd listen to a podcast for a little while, I didn't want something so, obtrusive that was going to be a challenge to manage. Of course, big headphones, you've got to carry your case around. You've got a lot more going on. And the AirPods I can just throw in my pocket. And I was really trying to travel as light as possible on this trip. So the noise cancellation, I was really impressed. And I definitely tried going back to the regular AirPods while I was on the plane just to get that feel. And not only were these louder because they're in-ear instead of an AirPod, which just kind of sits on your ear. So they were louder. I can hear more clearly. And then also that droning noise of the airplane just wasn't as noticeable. It was still noticeable and more noticeable than an over-the-ear headphone, but not as, it didn't really bother me so much with the AirPods Pro. I was pretty impressed. So noise cancellation in all of the different situations that I've been in has been great. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is definitely really good. And it's great for like a version 1 of Apple attempting noise cancellation on a device like this. So the audio quality has also been really good. I like the improved audio quality over a standard pair of AirPods because the standard pair of AirPods don't go into your ears. So there's a lot of spill. There's no real isolation between the AirPod itself and your ears until you go with AirPods Pro. There is that isolation because it is kind of a form fit right in your ear canal. And, the sizing is a little interesting. I thought immediately I would probably need the larger ear tips on the AirPods Pro. So I immediately put those on and they were a little big for me. And so I went back down to the size that comes on them standard. And I don't know, I probably would prefer something that's in between the medium and the large size because I'm having some issues with sweat getting into the AirPod and then the audio quality going away, and I have to take the AirPod out and blow the sweat out of it, which sounds really gross, but it's an issue that I'm having. Now, they are sweat resistant, which means they're not going to die from getting a little bit of sweat on them, and I've definitely gotten them sweaty at the gym, but the problem that I'm having is that I don't know if it's through the little air vent on the top that keeps the pressure from building up between your ear and the AirPod seal, or if it actually is getting down in here somehow. But somehow sweat is getting in there and it's causing major issues with the audio quality. It starts crackling. It just doesn't sound good at all. And this is most noticeable when I'm listening to music. It's less noticeable when I'm listening to audiobooks and podcasts. So I think what's really happening is that the AirPod Pro itself doesn't go as far into your ear canal as a lot of other Bluetooth earbuds. A lot of other earbuds that are inner ear earbuds stick a little bit further into your ear, and I think that that's the issue, is that these just don't go far enough in the ear to keep the sweat out completely. They do go further into the ear than a standard AirPod, but they don't go into your ear like another type of earbud. And so the Powerbeats Pro, which I've compared to the AirPods, the Powerbeats Pro stick in your ear a little bit further. The Sonys and the Bose, they stick a little bit further into your ear. And I think that the isolation, the additional isolation from the outer portion of your ear keeps a seal there so sweat can't get in. So what I'm having to do multiple times when I'm at the gym is take my AirPod out and blow into it like a Nintendo cartridge, like that, to get the sweat out of there, and then maybe take a towel and just dry my ear a little bit to prevent this from happening sooner than it would again, and then I could put the AirPod back in and the audio quality is back to normal. It sounds good again. But it is bad enough to where I have to do this multiple times at the gym. Keep in mind, I'm walking and running 10 miles in a row, and that can take a couple of hours depending on how good I'm feeling. And I also can get pretty sweaty in that time as well. And the sweat just kind of gets down in there, and then it gets into the AirPod. And so I'm pulling these things out of my ears multiple times at the gym to blow on them and get that sweat out of there, and then put them back in my ears so that my audio experience is not horrible, because when that is happening, it's really bad. It just doesn't sound good at all. So that's the major issue that I'm having with the AirPods. I really do wish that they stuck a little bit further into my ear canal so that it not only was there better isolation, but there was less of an opportunity for sweat to get down into the AirPods. That's, I think, my main issue with them right now. Otherwise, I do really enjoy the AirPods. I haven't had any issues with them falling out of my ears. A lot of people have complained about that. I think that they could probably fix that issue by using the appropriate ear tip size and making sure that the AirPod is really seated in their ear. Obviously, all of us have different shapes and sizes of ears, and it only comes with 3 different size tips, and so it's very hard for everybody to have a perfect fit. There are definitely headphones or earbuds that you can get that are designed and form-fitted to your ears. Those are expensive. Professionals use those. But for AirPods Pro, you're going to have to go with what best gets there. I've only had an issue of it almost falling out of my ear when I had my towel. I'm like trying to wipe sweat off my face and the towel grazed the AirPod. Now, the other earbuds that I've had in the past that go in a little bit further into my ear would not have almost fallen out because they're holding on a little bit harder than the AirPods Pro. The AirPods Pro, like I said, doesn't go far enough down into my ear canal to really hold on tight. And so there is an opportunity for an AirPod Pro to fall out more so than an earbud that sticks in a little bit further. This is where I'm really considering going back to the Powerbeats Pro. Even though the Powerbeats Pro don't have noise cancellation, the fact that they have an attachment that goes over your ear to hold onto your head really well, and they go a little bit further into my ear canal, they're producing a little bit of noise cancellation because of the additional isolation, and the fact that they hold on a little better is definitely puts me at ease, I think. And the audio quality is good, and so I don't know. Maybe if I went back after having used the AirPods Pro for so long and went back to the Powerbeats Pro, I might not like the experience so much. But with that said, the issue that I'm having with the sweat and stuff at the gym is kind of annoying, and it's something that I have to get out of the zone of my workout and worry about the AirPod. I'm not listening to music now, and it kind of breaks my concentration, especially if I'm listening to an audiobook and it happens. And so it's not the end of the world. I'm definitely going on maybe too long about this issue, but it is something that you might experience if you utilize these at the gym and you tend to sweat a little bit. So overall, the battery life on them has been really good. I go to the gym for sometimes up to 3 hours in a day if I'm going to work out beyond doing my walking and running. And so I can listen constantly through that. And then I've also been able to get multiple trips to the gym out of a charge, because obviously the AirPods themselves have a charge limitation. And then when you put them into the case, you can get a full 24 hours of use out of them. So usually I'm charging my AirPods once every couple of days, and because they're wireless, I could just plop them down on my nightstand where I have a nice little 3-port type of device that has 2 pads for wireless charging and 1 for my Apple Watch, so I can charge all the devices right there. It's worked out really cool. I'll link to it down in the description in case you're interested in checking it out. So with that said, where do these stack up against everything else that's available out there, both with what's available and the pricing? Well, I think that there is nothing more convenient than AirPods. Apple has definitely won there. With the standard AirPods and the AirPods Pro, the convenience factor is there. The audio quality when I'm on calls and I'm utilizing them to take a phone call are really great. I feel like with the Siri dictation, if I'm trying to say something and utilize Siri with these AirPods Pro, they're not as good as the standard AirPods. There seems to be more of a disconnect there. When I've talked on the phone, people have said, oh yeah, I can hear you clearly, but I don't think it's quite as clear as maybe the other AirPods, just because these are so much smaller and the microphone is not in the same position as the other AirPods. It's kind of up in your ear, and so the audio quality just isn't as good, but it's okay. It's going to get you by. Obviously, the AirPods are really going to shine with the noise canceling. Obviously, the AirPods Pro are really going to shine with the noise canceling and the audio quality there. Most of us aren't taking as many phone calls as we used to, but I am utilizing Siri, and when Siri can't get things right in the first place, adding another barrier between my voice and Siri is causing issues with me doing dictation. I like to take notes when I'm listening to an audiobook, and a lot of times I'm trying to dictate my notes into something like the Drafts app, and there's just issues there. And so a lot of times I just flat out can't dictate into my AirPods. It's a problem that I have, especially when there's other background noise going on. So with that said, I definitely think that the AirPods Pro are worth it. They're worth it for me. They are a little expensive, and there are other options out there, as I've talked a little bit about throughout this video. But the convenience factor is just there. The ease in pairing them to your different Apple devices and how you just have to pair it once and they're available on all your Apple devices is great. The fact that I can listen to something or watch something on my iPad and my wife can be connected as well, and we can be listening to our AirPods is fantastic. The ability to easily see the power levels just by swiping into the widget and all that good stuff is great. The ease in which I can switch between different noise cancellation modes is great. There's just nothing that matches the convenience factor of the AirPods Pro. Yes, there are options that may have a little bit better noise canceling or a little bit better sound quality, but you're not going to get the convenience there because they haven't went as far as to implement with the iPhone, with the iPad and all that stuff in the same way that Apple has. And to be honest, I don't even know if they could without definitely working with Apple directly on their technology. So the AirPods Pro went out for me. I think it's worth the money. I think it's providing me enough value to justify it. I just wish that I hadn't bought an AirPods 2 about 6 months ago when those came out. So with that said, that's going to do it for my review here. Definitely let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I hope this video helped you make a decision to either get the AirPods Pro or to try something else. And if you do, use the links that I have down in the description below so you can help support the channel here and keep me making videos. But that's it, so I hope that we'll see you in the next one. Take care and have a Merry Christmas.